Hello everyone and welcome back to Fallout 4. I am AutomaTitan, and in the previous episode we tracked down, located and murdered a synthetic Corsa, and I'm still trying to figure out how the synthetic Corsas managed to get their reputation. I mean, there was what? I'm going to say 50 gunners in that building and one Corsa, and it only took us about, I'm going to say, 2 minutes to dispatch of the Corsa. I mean, I know that we are the sole survivor, but I expected the synthetic Corsa to pack a bit more of a punch. Either way, we extracted his neural chip and we robbed his coat. And I have to say, I'm loving this coat, and I don't think I'm going to be changing Natasha's attire anytime soon. Anyway, Dr. Amari, I have a chip for you to analyse.
Dr. Amari? You're back. The glowing sea. Virgil. What's happened?
Well, when we went to the glowing sea, we located a deathclaw in combat with a rad scorpion. Now, the rad scorpion won, but that was one of the most entertaining things I have seen out in the wasteland. I highly recommend going to the glowing sea if you have a suit of power armour and a substantial amount of Radex and Radaway. I mean, it's not exactly the safest place, but it is somewhere that I would recommend everyone to go. However, there was a cult, a Church of Atom. You might have heard of them. Stay well away from them. They're kind of insane. They love radiation, so they go into the most irradiated place in the entire wasteland.
I found Virgil. He has a way inside the Institute. But I need a code from a core searcher.
A core searcher? You fought a corso?
Couldn't you tell from my coat?
I've worked on a lot of synths, but never a corso. I don't know what that chip does, let alone how to decode it. But there are people who might. I work with a group that, well, they're the only ones I know that even have a chance at cracking Institute security. They're called the Railroad.
Okay, how do I get in touch with them?
The railroad.
They help synths escape the Institute. I don't know who they all are. Usually an agent of theirs just shows up with someone who needs new memories. One of them gave me a code phrase. Said it would help me find them if there was ever an emergency. Follow the Freedom Trail.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. I'll find them.
Good luck. I'm sorry what I have is so cryptic, but hopefully you can figure things out as you go.
I'm sure I'll be able to, Doctor. I'm sure I'll be able to. And with that, I recall a few episodes ago when we were back in Swan's Lake and going to meet up with Nick for the very first time. We actually procced one of the Find the Railroad quest markers. So I'm just going to go right there now, and I will see you in a moment. Right, so if I am not mistaken, this is where we had the Freedom Trail quest marker proc, so let's have a chat with the Tobot.
All across the country to Boston, Common, the start of the Freedom Trail. Feast your ears and learn more about the historic Freedom Trail. And learn the history of Boston, Common.
Okay, tell me about the Freedom Trail, good sir.
Starting here at Boston, Common, follow the red path as it winds its way through our great city's streets. Markers on the trail are placed at many famous historic sites. See Paul Revere's house, the Old North Church, the Old State House, Bunker Hill, and many more.
Okay, so it looks like we are going to be following a trail. So it also means that this is likely to be another long walk of a quest, so I will see you in just a moment when I reach the end of the Freedom Trail. Okay everyone, we are back and it looks like I have made it to the end of the Freedom Trail. And before we continue, I just want to say sod this quest. I have been doing this for the last hour or so and I got lost. I died a few times to super mutants and to raiders, and all I wanted to do was follow this stupid red line. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this quest. I mean, I understand the point of the quest and the fact that the freedom fighters of the railroad want to stay hidden, but they could have made it a little bit easier for the sole survivor to get in touch. Either way, we have made it to the very end of the Freedom Trail, so let's make our way inside. Okay, so now we have to continue on with searching for the railroad even. So we have done I think we've done the hard part of the quest, which is making our way here. However, I could be wrong and more bullshit could be on the way. Hello there, Ghoul. How are you today? So you may notice that I am using a laser rifle, and oh no, I mentioned at one point I'm terrified of Reavers, and the idea of facing a feral Reaver in legendary form is not exactly something I want to do. That didn't even do much damage. Why did the crit do less damage than the actual attack? Either way, we have just murdered it, and thank you game. Thank you game. You have given me something that I actually want. Improved VATS hit chance and 25% less action point cost. I am happy with that. That is a glorious thing. Thank you game. I'm gonna say that was the game apologising for having me go through the railroad. Well, finding the Freedom Trail even. As I got lost, as I've already said, I had gone around in circles and I just did not enjoy finding my way into this place. Either way, there are a substantial amount of ghouls, but they should not be too much of a problem, as we have access to a laser rifle, a shotgun, and various other weapons. So the reason we are using a laser rifle today is because I have, well, in the previous mission, when I ended off the video, I went along and did some scavenging as I always do, and I picked up a laser pistol. Now, I don't really like laser pistols, but I've always kind of liked the laser rifles. So as a result, I decided to mod it up and turn it into a laser sniper rifle. Either way, I am going to be right back, and I will see you once I have made more progress into finding the railroad. Okay, so I think I'm making more progress into finding the railroad HQ, and as the sign said when we were talking to the Protectron, just follow the Freedom's lantern. So that is what we are going to do, and hopefully we will be finding the railroad HQ momentarily. I have to say, they hid this place rather well, and if I was going to be a member of the railroad, I would be happy knowing that not just anyone would be able to find us. Freedom Trail ring. Right. So something tells me that I have to... right. Just consult the local map. Intriguing. Right, so I will be right back once we have figured this out. Okay, that's done something. Sweet. So the password for this is railroad, and you have to click the button every time you have selected a letter. Kind of interesting. As much as I dislike this quest, I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit. Come on, Nick, time to join the railroad.
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, answer my questions.
Okay,
Who the hell are you?
I'm Titan, Natasha, or Rex, whichever one you want to call me. I respond to all three. I'm not your enemy.
I followed the Freedom Trail looking for the railroad. I'm not your enemy. If that's true, you have nothing to fear. Who told you how to contact us?
Dr. Amara.
Dr. Amari told me how to find you. Very interesting. Last question. Why are you here?
Can you put the minigun down? Can you please put the minigun down? And I'm going to tell you the full story.
I tracked down and killed a courser at Green Tech Genetics. Now I need help. Breaking the code on his courser chip. You have what? This is not a joking matter.
Look at my coat.
Party? What gives with my invitation? Oh, I see you invited the Courser Killer. Nice.
Deacon, you're late. You're saying this intruder actually killed a courser? Single-handedly? Oh, that'd give even Gloria a run for her money.
Have you seen my jacket?
Boss, this lady is kind of a big deal. If you're done interrogating her, you might want to show this Courser murdering machine a little courtesy.
I like this guy.
I owe you an apology. Anyone who kills a courser is good in my book. I'm Desdemona, and I'm the leader of the railroad.
A pleasure to meet you.
Hopefully we can work something out. What you're asking for puts us in a tricky position.
Des, we need to let her in. She's got an intact Courser chip, for God's sake.
That violates our security protocols.
To hell with that. She killed a Courser. There's no way she's working for the Institute.
We're letting you into our headquarters. You're the first outsider ever to be given this privilege. We'll discuss the details about your chip inside.
Okay. I'm happy that that guy arrived. Otherwise, we could have easily gotten shot to hell by that minigun. Right, we're going to turn off the torch. And Deacon, my friend.
Hey,
We having fun yet?
Well, considering she's put the minigun down, I would say yes.
Don't try anything, stranger.
Don't worry about it. I might have killed a Corsa, but I'm not exactly willing to face off against a minigun. Desdemona?
a million things can go wrong. The least of which is losing the data. Fortunately, we have the right man for the job.
I'm glad to hear that.
Don't try anything, stranger.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, man. You need something?
Tom, our visitor here has a courser chip.
Whoa! For real? Oh, man, it's been ages.
Right. Some ground rules. Tom can get you the code, but once he's done, we get the courser chip. Why do you want the courser chip? Institute Tech is light years beyond what we have. And a courser chip is top of the line. I'm not going to get into details, but that chip could help us save lives. Maybe throw a wrench in some of the Institute's operations. So, hand over the chip.
I kind of need it to teleport myself inside the Institute, but I'm gonna figure something out regarding that later. Have the chip.
Fine. It's yours. All right. Tom, make it happen.
What's a chip? Let's have the circuit analyzer take a crack at you.
Come on, Tinker Tom. I believe you can do this.
Give Tom time. He'll get that chip.
We're in. Chip access. Just
Come on.
Oh man, don't crash. Hold it together. Remember, here go. Here it comes. Encryption algorithms. All right. Still running.
Come on, Tinker Tom, I believe in you.
They've added more decimals to the last cipher. This is gonna
I'm
be.
trying.
Come on, baby. Show me that pattern. Where is it? Wait. They're using the same logarithmic function as the key generator. We got lucky. Got you, you institute bastard. I got you.
I like this man.
Show me that secret bastard. Here we got it. We got the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, Des.
Start working on the rest of the chip. And you, I'd love to work with you more. Let me know if you're interested.
I'll think about it, Des.
If you use that data and discover anything involving the Institute, you share it with us first. Otherwise, our relationship will be in jeopardy.
Okay. I understand. Right. Now we are going to turn off the Finding the Railroad quest, and we are going to be making our way back to the Glowing Sea and back to Virgil, which means I'm going to have to go and bring out the power armor. So I will be back in just a moment. Virgil! Virgil, my friend. Got great news. I'm not dead. I have, yes.
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a courser.
I'm glad you have confidence in me.
Coded.
Railroad.
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks.
Yeah.
I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation.
I know. Don't worry about it.
One who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit.
Yeah.
Here's the symbol explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay.
Really?
It's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
Don't worry about it. You've done your best.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises.
I know.
But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I believe I do.
I've got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to try to get you your cure.
Do as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum.
I'll do my best, Virgil.
Forever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
Okay. Right. So we have options. We can talk to the Minutemen, we can talk to the Brotherhood, or we can talk to the Railroad. I'm going to say we're going to talk to the Minutemen purely because we are in the good books of the Minutemen, and as I've said many times, I am the Minutemen's General. Preston, I have a favour to ask.
What do you need, General?
I need someone who can build this.
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
My son?
They kidnapped my baby.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them.
It is.
We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that.
Cheers, Preston.
You could build this thing
It has the ability to teleport me inside of the Institute.
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix.
Good. Sturgis, I have a task for you.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
Yep.
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing.
Well, I killed the man who deals with that kind of thing.
Actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah. I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. Handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals. But it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Jet engine.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing.
Okay, thank you, Sturgis.
I already see this is going to take a crazy amount of juice.
It probably
If we
will.
had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Well, this is... yeah. Right, I will be right back, everyone. Hopefully by the time you see me next, which will be a couple of seconds for you guys, we have everything required to build the platform. Okay, so we now have the platform on the go. Right, Sturgis, my man, I have the thing. I have built the thing. Now where are you? Sturgis, this is not building the thing.
You know I'm not the only person here.
Sturgis.
How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it.
It's gonna be fine.
Three things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Okay. Relay dish, console, beam emitter. Damn. Right. This is gonna be interesting.
I'll get right on this.
Good deal. One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other.
Got it.
See you over at the building site. Good luck.
Thank you, Sturgis.
This place, kid. No energy.
Well, it's not a nuclear reactor, but it's close. And it's as close as we could possibly get. We have a lot of power on the go. Sturgis, how goes the contraption? How goes the teleporter?
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Yes.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up, and we see what happens.
Okay, before I go,
Whenever you're ready.
Preston, my man. If I die, you're promoted.
Plenty of more things to tweak.
Preston, if I die, you're the general. I don't want you to question this. If I'm dead, you're the general.
Sturgis.
Everything looks good on my end.
Let's do this.
You sure? I'll start scanning. I'm ready when you are.
Nick, I'll see you on the other side, Nick.
Hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute, what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, we better hurry. Don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration.
Sturgis,
Scanning for the Institute signal.
Preston, I think I'm going to die.
And
So you're the general now.
hold on to your butt.
Okay, so it looks like we are on our own now. We don't have Nick, but we're in the Institute. I'm slightly terrified to go through that door. But for now, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I am AutomaTitan, and I will see you next time.